Hey students, glad that hopefully you guys are doing well. I should have just got done with Module 4, which is talking about igneous rocks, volcanoes, and things like that. And that actually should end our first unit before our first test, which our first test should be is due by this Tuesday evening. Now what that means is that the test itself, the exam, will be open on Monday and Tuesday. It will take you an hour. That's the length of time you have for it. And you can go down here and then the exam instructions to get more details about how to get ready for the logistics for getting ready for the exam. For studying for the exam, hopefully you should be going through your objectives for the prior semester, for the prior modules. Within those objectives, they actually have specific ideas that you should be studying to help you prepare for the exam. Also, places that you can study from are going back through your reading quizzes and your online activities. There's some, I'll promise you that some of those questions could show up on the exam and help you. They might be reworded a little bit, but they'll help you be able to get started and have the exam there. The exam, if I remember right, is like 53 questions. It's worth about 70 points. Some of them are actually matching and therefore are worth more than others. But the point comes is it should take you easily within that hour period, and watch the instructions and read the instructions in the exam to get you started on that. Now this week, the first half of the week will be devoted to the exam. So Monday and Tuesday is devoted to the exam. Okay. So to go to the exam, first of all, the exam instructions here, that's the link there, and I will go through all the details. I do this in a video format so that you guys can listen to me walk you through some of the instructions. But if you go to the exam and assignment tab here at the top, you'll see that there's a link here for the exam, and you go to that page. It will take you to the Exam 1 instructions. Read that, if you don't want to watch the video, but please make sure you understand what that means and how to do the exam. When you do it, when you do the exam and to actually start taking the exam, make sure you always push next, not submit. It will have a little pop-up if you make sure that you've enabled pop-ups, which is important for you to do. It'll have a pop-up that will actually come up and say, do you want to submit this, even though you didn't finish the exam. And of course you want to say next instead, and therefore finish all the exam and then push submit. You only push submit when you were done with the exam. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody understands that. I put it in big red letterings when you go to the exam, but just to make sure, go that way too. Okay, so that's where you access the exam, is going from the exam and the assignment here. Now, following the exam, we will be starting into our next section, and so this is where this next one will. And this next section will actually be most of the rest of this week, and then the following week we'll start talking about plate tectonics. This is a more involved kind of topic. It's one of the more important topics in earth science, and it's probably one of the most important kind of theories that we're going to discuss in this class. And it will tie into a lot of other things. So other things that we've already talked about were already tying into this, like volcanoes, igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and all the minerals, all the processes we've already talked about will be tying into plate tectonics. And so, and then some of the topics that we'll be discussing in this next unit will be very, very connected to this idea of plate tectonics. Okay, so it's pretty much the theme for this next unit is this plate tectonic idea. And so we'll talk about earthquakes, metamorphic rocks, and stuff like that in light of plate tectonics, and then also integrate some of the stuff from the last unit, like volcanoes and stuff, to put that in there as well. Okay, so just like always, the objectives, this is for the objectives for the next unit, not for Exam 1. Okay, so this is the material for the latter half of the week, the objectives that are going for it. Okay, this is the readings and then the glossary page. There is quite a bit of new terms for this section. Some of them we have talked about before, but it's just brought up again. But these are for like I said, this is for both this week and next week. So just remember that. I haven't put in the lecture slides yet, and haven't put in the videos, linked the videos yet. I'll be doing that a little bit later, but I have linked the the additional videos there for you. But those will be in there before next week. Before the week before this week when you do it, right? Okay. I'm obviously doing this the week before. Then discussions. I'm actually giving you this week off for discussions. You already have an exam, and so I think that it's very. I think you guys need a break, and so that way I'll put there would be no discussion for Module 5. Okay, so remember that. No discussion for Module 5. So you do need to get your assignment due, which is just a reading quiz this time, due by Thursday. Okay, and so what I would suggest, because you don't have that extra activity on Friday and stuff like that to get done, and on Wednesday, try to start doing your reading, start doing those lectures. They're going to take a little bit longer because they will be for both weeks, and there's something that is a very important topic. If you have any other questions or something that you need, please, as always, you can always go to the general discussion board, and the general discussion board will ask general questions that I can answer for you, you can always shoot me an email, as always. If I've had a couple of people have issues with SmartWorks and also the discussion page, they're not kind of understanding some of it. If you're not understanding something, please email me. Don't flounder. I can't help you unless I know you're struggling. I'm finding out after the fact sometimes that people are struggling, and this is often because I've seen discussion boards in the wrong place or things like that. And if something doesn't seem right, please contact me. In a face-to-face class, you'd be able to ask me in class or raise your hand or something like that. But in an online class, it's so important for you to have a discussion with me back and forth so I can assist you where I can. So if you have any more questions, please let me know, and we will make that the end of our overview video for the day. See you guys. Hope you guys do well on the exam.